we had user. We have seen how to create a user, right? So every user will have a role, every user will have a profile, every user will have a license. So when I said user, I said user. When I say user, now when I say user, he is the active paying member. He is an employee of your organization. Basically, we can say he is one of the employee of your organization. When I say user, he is one of the employee of your organization. All the employees who want to log in, they should be created as a user in the Salesforce. If you want anybody to log into the Salesforce, we have to create him like a user. So anybody who want to log into the Salesforce should be created in the Salesforce as a user. Now, when I am creating a user, some of the users, every user, he may be owner for one or more number of records. When I say owner, he is the person responsible for maintaining that record. Let us say Capital Info Solution has Wipro as a customer. Now, any request coming from the Wipro, anything related to the Wipro, I have appointed an employee from my company, boss Ravi. You are responsible person for fulfilling all the requirements of this Wipro. If the Wipro company want to communicate with our company, need any services, you are the point of contact. You are responsible for maintaining that their services. Are you getting my point? So from my company, for one of my customer, I assigned for every customer, one person will be assigned as a owner. You are the person responsible for maintaining this. Now, generally, whoever is creating the record, he becomes the owner of the record. General procedure is, if I create the record, I become the owner. If you create the record, you become the owner. General format is, person who is creating, he will become the owner of the record. So if I create, you will be the owner of the record. But it is not necessary that always the person who created should be the owner. I can apply my own conditions. I can apply my own rules to decide who should be the owner of the record. Generally, whoever is creating the record, he will be the owner of the record. If you create the record, you are the owner. I create the record, I am the owner. This is the general format. But according to your company, you can define some rules to decide who should be the owner. Are you getting my point? Standard rule is, whoever creates, he is the owner. But always it did not be. Your organization may have certain set of rules which will decide who should be the owner of the record. Okay. Now, sometimes what will happen? A group of people will be a owner for a record. Now, I made a call to call center. When I made a call to call center, always your call is handled by Ravi only? No. There are a team of people. Whoever is free, they will be handling the call. Right? When I make a call to the customer care, the call will go to the customer care team. In the team, whoever is free, he will handle the call. Am I right or wrong? So what is that? The team is the owner now. When you want a group of people to collaborate and share the workload, when you want a group of people to collaborate and share the workload, then they form a queue. So what is a queue? Queue is a group of users. Queue is a group of users. Queue is a group of users. This queue can be a owner on a record. Generally what happened? When I get an inquiry, now you are coming to the Capital Info Solution. In the Capital Info Solution, if you go to main building, there are 5 receptions sitting in the counter. Now when an inquiry comes, out of the 5 receptions, whoever is free, they will be giving a counseling for you. Now, always the student comes and sit in the first chair and talk to someone only? No. Now there are 5 people sitting in the row. Whoever is coming, whoever the student is coming, he will see which counter is free. He will go and sit there and get a inquiry. Now there is a team. Now what they are doing? The 5 members are sharing the workload. The 5 members are sharing the workload. If I am already giving a counseling to someone, the next guy who is sitting beside me will call the next inquiry and give the information. Now, are you getting? Now it's a team of people working together to collaborate and share the workload. So, owner can be a person or owner can be a queue. So, what is a queue? Tell me now. We say group of users working together and sharing the workload. Group of users working together and sharing the workload. Come this way. In always a nonsense class. Right. Queue is a group of users collaborating together, sharing the workload. Sharing the workload. Right. Now, queue can be a owner of a record. Queue can be a owner of a record. Now, can this queue be a owner for every record on every object? No. At the time of creating a queue, you have to tell this queue is allowed only on these objects. At the time of creating a queue, I have to tell the queue is created on which objects and who are the members of the queue. Now at the time of creating a queue, I have to tell queue is created on which objects. When I say object A, object B, object C, this queue can be a owner only on the records of those objects. When I create a queue, it cannot be a owner for every object. It cannot be a owner for every record of every object. At the time of creating a queue, I have to mention on which objects the queue can be a owner. Next, I have to tell who are the members of the queue. So look at the format. Setup, administer, manage users. What we have? What is that? Group of users manage shared workload more effectively. Now basically they are assigned to the team. Whoever is free in the team, they will take that record on their name and convert it. But initially they are assigned to the team. Now one of the team members say, I am free, I will handle this record. So from the team, he will convert the record into his name and he start working. Initially the record is on team. He will convert the record onto his name, then he start working. Okay. So how are you creating the queue? Name of the queue, let us say live team, or let us say Java team. Now on which objects I am saying lead, then I told these are the two objects on which queue can be put. This queue can be a owner on records of this object. This queue can be a owner on records of this object. Are you getting my point? Okay. Then I have choose the members of the queue. I told Wilson. All the users with the director role. All the roles and subordinates of recruiter. Now this is a queue. So what was this queue? Steps to create a queue. What is the navigation we had? Setup, administer, manage users, queue. Setup, administer, manage users, queue, new queue. Select the object. Enter queue name. Enter the queue name. Choose the objects. enter the queue name, choose the objects. Then we have choose the queue members. Who can be the queue members? Queue members can be user, role and subordinate. Who can be the members of the queue? User can be a member of the queue, role and subordinate, public group. Right, this is how we are creating. So basically, queue is only going to work for owner. Queue is going to be only the owner. Queue concept is used only to make a group of people as a owner. Nowhere else we use it. Queue concept is used to only make group of people as a owner. Nowhere else we use this concept. Again I repeat, queue is used to make a group of people as a owner. Nowhere else we use this concept. I hope I am clear. Right. Now let us go to the record. Lead. Take any one of the record. Here what we have? Owner. Now I am taking here. Change. Then change. I am making queue. Who is the owner? Now the Java team is the owner. Now the Java team is the owner. I hope you are good with this. Now I can make a Java team as a owner. Now I made a Java team as a owner. I hope you are good with this. Right? So a team can be a owner of a record. A team can be a owner of a record. Now we are making a team as a owner of a record. I hope you are good. So who is a owner of the record? It can be a person or it can be a queue. It can be a person or it can be a queue. Right. Next I have public group. What is the concept of public group? What is the concept of public group? Listen. The concept of public group. Boss, I want a group of people to be wrapped under one name. I want a group of people to be wrapped under one name. Why you want a group of people to be wrapped? Let us say, I want to share a record with 10 people. I want to send an email with 20 people. Then what I will do? Every time I cannot add the email addresses. Every time I cannot say, send an email to Satish, send an email to Kumar, send an email to Prasad. Now what I am doing? I am grouping the people into one entity. Let us say, I want to send an email to all the HR team. Now I cannot send an email to one by one person. So what I am doing? Putting all the members of the HR team as one group, like your WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp, what are you doing? We are creating multiple groups. Now when you want to share any message, in the group you are posting, all the members are receiving it. Similarly, if you want to share any record, or you want to send an email, or you want to perform any task with a group of people, there we go with a public group. Can a public group be a owner? No. Public group can be used for everything other than owner. Queue can be used for only owner. It cannot be used for anything. So queue will be if you want a group of people to be a owner, if you want a group of people to be a owner, if you want a group of people to be a owner, we go for a concept of queue. If you want to share a record with a group of people, if I want to send an email with a group of people, I will go for public group. Are you clear? Public group is what? A group of people wrapped under one name. Group of people wrapped under one name. Group of people wrapped under one name. Right. Let me give you this. Setup, administer, manage users, then we have public groups, then I am giving it label. Charting. The group, you select whom you want to add. All the users with now I made some members. All these people are wrapped under one name. I hope you are getting my point. So what we are doing, group of people we are putting as group of people we are putting as one name. Group of people we are putting as one name. I hope I am clear with this. Right. So what I am doing, we are putting a group of people under one name, which is called a public group. What is the process? Set up, administer, manage users, public groups, new group, then you tell who should be the members of this group, which users, all the users with the role and responsibility of director, product management. Right. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. So what was this? It's a group of users. It is a group of users. It is a group of users wrapped under one name. It is a group of users wrapped under name. If admin creates a group, then it is called if the developer creates, if any other user creates, it is called wait. I hope I'm clear. It's a group of users wrapped under one name. If admin creates a group, then it is called a public group. If any other user creates, then it is called private. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Okay. Steps to create. Set up, administer, public group. Set up, administer, manage users, public group. The group name. Step number 2, enter the group name. Then choose the members of the group. So this is the concept. So we had user, we had a owner, we had a queue. User, queue, public group. Individual person, user. Group of users, public group. If you want a group of users to be a owner, queue. Group of users to be a owner, queue. I hope you are good. Okay. Next, I told you, boss, who can be the owner of a record? If I create the record, I am the owner. If you create the record, you are the owner. So, next we had owner of the record. Record will have, every record will have owner. Record will have one user as owner, So every record will have one user or a queue as a owner. Then what will I do? Every record will have one user or a queue as a owner. Okay, next point. Generally, whichever the user is creating a record, he will be the owner of the generally whichever the user is creating the record, he will be the owner of the record. Generally, whichever the user is creating record, he will be the owner of the record. Whichever the user is creating a record, he will be the owner of the record. Okay, now look at the format. We can apply automation techniques to decide owner of the record. We can apply automation techniques. We can apply automation techniques to decide who should be the owner of the record. So what are the automation techniques? One is lead assignment rules. Second, triggers. We can apply automation techniques to decide who should be the owner of the record. Lead assignment rules and triggers. What are these lead assignment rules? What are these lead assignment rules? These are available only on lead object. These are available only on lead object. Lead assignment rules are available only on lead object. Lead assignment rules are available only on lead object. So at the time of creating the lead, based on these rules, they will decide who should be the owner of the record. Lead assignment rules. These rules are used to decide who should be the owner of the record. These rules are used to decide who should be the owner of the record. This is available only on owner of the lead record. Right. Now let me show you an example. Setup, build, customize, leads. So what we have here? Lead assignment rules. So navigation, setup, build, customize, leads, lead assignment rules. We had a new rule, or else we can use the standard rule. Already some rules are defined here. I don't want to use this. I want to create my own rule. What I'm doing? Lead assignment rules, new rule, the old one is deactivated, this is activated. Only one rule will be active. So under these rules, first condition. A single rule can have multiple conditions. First condition. If city equals to, if city equal to Hyderabad, assign Wilson as the owner. Second rule, whatever the order I am giving, in the same order they will be checking. If the first rule is true, it will not check second rule. If rating is hot, assign Java team as a owner. I have given 2 rules. So go to the lead, new lead. No. I'm giving some lead. Then I'm giving city equal to Hyderabad. Whenever a new lead is created with city equal Hyderabad, what is the option we had here? Assign using active assignment rules. If I select that, selected that and create. Who is the person who is creating? Admin. See. Admin created the record, but who is the owner of the record? Wilson. Admin created the record, but who is the owner? Wilson. Because the assignment rules have decided who should be the owner of the record. So assignment rules will specify who should be the owner of the record. Assignment rules will specify who should be the owner of the record. Right? It can be a user or it can be a queue. It can be a user or it can be a queue. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Let me create one more record. The same record I am modifying. Now, what is the first rule I told? If city equal Hyderabad. Okay. Now I am also giving rating. Let us see. Now which rule will run first? Now both the rules are meeting, right? So I gave an order 1, 2. So first rule will be verified. If the first rule is 2, it will not check second rule. Now go back to this. Save. Still, who is the owner? Because order number is what? Go back to this. Now I want to edit it. If rating equal to what? 3 equals 7. This is 1, this is 2. I modified. Now go back to the record. Go back to the record. Edit. So who is the owner? So first rule, as per the order, whichever I have given as 1, that will verify. If that is 2, it will not check the second rule. I hope you are good. Right? So lead assignment rules, they will decide who should be the owner of the record. Similarly, we have case assignment rules. They will also decide who should be the owner of the case. Generally, enquiries will be assigned to the team. When you get any complaints or okay, they will be assigned to the team. So case is what? A complaint. Now generally a lead and a case will have a group of people. I hope you are good. Lead assignment rules and case assignment rules. I hope you are good with this condition. Lead assignment rules and case assignment rules. I hope you are clear. Clear about this? Look at the point. Steps to create. For the navigation we had setup. Customize. Leads. Then what I've done? Step 1. Select active checkbox. Then what you are supposed to do? Create rule entry. Create rule entry. So when you say create rule entry, order number, step 2, enter the condition, choose the owner. Then how do you test it? How do you test it? Create a new lead and select assign the owner using create a new lead and enable the checkbox of assign the owner using lead assignment tools. Then you can check the who is the owner of the lead. People are good with this concept? Clear? So the same thing will be applied for which object? Case. Case is also same concept. Lead assignment rule, case assignment rule. Are you clear about this? So all these story is to decide who is the owner. Generally, every record, who created the record, he will be the owner. If you want to decide who should be the owner based on your business requirement, you can apply the condition. For lead and case, we have lead assignment rules, case assignment rule. For other objects, we can use triggers. Trigger is a programmatical concept. Using a trigger, we can decide who should be the owner of the record. So at the end of the game, what is the conclusion of this? Every record will have owner, and also will have every record will have owner, okay, as a user or a queue. A person can be a owner or a queue can be a owner, right? Now the owner has a major role to play. I hope everyone is good with this, right? Now come back to the major story now. Everyone understand very carefully. Security model. Data security model. We are going for a data security model. We are trying to control the security on the data. First, it has object level security. We have record level security, field level security, object level, record level, field level. Then we can also go with, okay, some additional conditions are here. We'll discuss those conditions. These are the three major points. In the object level security, we have a subtopic like profile level security, permission set, record level security, OWD. Then we have role hierarchy. Then we have sharing rules. Then we have profile. Then we had next one. The next one is account teams, opportunity, Then we have territory management. Then we have territory managements. So we have field level security, profile level, permission set, page layout, so this is the security model. When you want to discuss about the security of the data, if you want to discuss about the security of the data, we are supposed to understand object level security, record level security, field level security. Object level security is at profile level and permission set. Record level is at OWD, role hierarchy, sharing rules, profile and permission set, account teams, opportunity teams, case teams, territory level access. Then field level security, profile level, permission set, page layout, record type. So these are the topics which are going to decide your security model. Right. So we have to learn this topic with respect to all these subtopics. Okay. So let us start the first one, which is object level security. We already know these topics, but we are learning them as an organized structure. First, object level. First one, object level. When I say object level, so first of all, if you want to see the data, you should have access on the table first. If you don't have the access on the table, will you be able to see the tables? If you want to see the record, if you want to see the data in the table, first you are supposed to have the access on the table. So object level permission will be deciding who can see this object, what type of operation you can perform on this object. So let me go to first. Let me log in like another user. He was unable to log in. How do you find the problem? The username is wrong. If you are trying to log in with the username, wrong username, no entry will be made. Now let us go back to one by one. Right. Let's start with first one. Setup, administer, manage users, profile. What is the profile we give? Recruiter profile. Go to the profile. In the profile, you are able to see. So object level permissions are controlled at what level? Profile level. If you want to say which objects you can see, which objects you cannot see. Now I went to which object here? Position. The position object, I removed everything. Once I removed, I went to the profile and I removed the access on position object. So go to the Wilson. Previously was able to see the position object. Now go back. He was not finding the position. So who is controlling the security on the object? Profile. Your profile will decide what type of access you have on your object. So object level access or security is controlled by profile. Now I'm going to position, give a read access. When I say read, you will be able to see the object. You'll be able to see the object, but there is no new button. There is no new button. If you open any record, you don't have any option of edit or delete. You can only read the data. You cannot create a new record. You cannot edit. You cannot delete. Because according to your profile, what is given? Only read access is given. Now I gave create, edit. You're able to find edit. No delete button. Position. You're finding. Are you clear? So what is that? So your permission is controlled with the profile. Object level permission. Object level permission is controlled by the profile. Your profile will decide what type of access you have on the object. Your profile will decide what type of access you have on the object. So do you want to have an edit button? Your profile should give you permission on this object for edit. You want to see a new button? Your profile should give access on this object. So object level security is controlled at what level? Profile level. Now, according to this profile, there is no delete permission, right? So what I'm doing, setup, administer, then I'm going with permission set, new, so according to your profile, you don't have an access. According to your profile, you don't have, but we can also grant some extra permissions using permission set. So what I'm doing, I'm going to the permission set, go to the position object, read, create, edit, delete. I'm giving create access on this object. Now if I give this permission set to that user, what will happen? That user is going to get access of delete. Go to this Wilson. Scroll down. Permission set assignment. So permissions on the object are given by profile as well as permission set. Now we are getting what? I hope you got my point. So what was the permission here? Object level permission. Object level permissions are controlled by profile will decide what operations, what CRUD operations user can perform. What is the CRUD? Create, read, update. So object level permissions are given by, object level security is maintained by profile. So example, as per our example, what is the format? First, create a profile, Salesforce license. Customer. create a tab for the object, then create a profile, profile recruiter, then grant read create access on customer, create a user profile, see what operations, right? So create an object, create a profile, on the profile grant access of read and create access on the customer object, then create a new user with recruiter profile and see what operation you can perform. Then you understand, okay, profile controls the objects. Okay. Then now if I want to give any extra permissions for a user, what I can do? Then we are supposed to go with the permission set. Then, permission set. Permission set also controls the permissions on object. Using permission set, also we can control access on the object. Using the permission set also we can control the access on the object. So what do we do? Example. So create go to object settings, enable the options on, assign this permission set, we'll see, and check the access. So basically I want to convey here the message, object level permissions are basically controlled by profile, but we can also control some of the permission with the permission set. When you are giving extra permissions to a particular user, his permissions on the object will change. So basically they are controlled by profile, but we can also manage some of the extra permissions with the permission set. Using permission set we cannot reduce, but we can grant extra permission. So we can manage some of the extra permissions with the permission set. So finally, how the object level security are managed? Using profiles. But if you want to grant any extra permission, we are going with the permission set. Everyone is good with this? Everyone is good? So basically we are granting the permission with the permission, okay, profiles. Then you all can also manage. Then we can also manage with the permission set. Everyone is good? Then when you are giving a permission for a group of people, whatever the common permissions are there, that is given in the profile. Extra permissions are given through permission set. Right. Next we'll go with the record level permission. Very important. Listen carefully. Record level access. First, organization. Organization by default. What was this? For everybody in the company, what is the minimum permission we want to give on the record? If I have a record, if I have one record, on this record, what is the minimum permission that I want to give for everyone in the company? So OWD is always given for what? Granting minimum level of permission. This is the minimum permission that everybody should have in the organization. OWD will give you minimum level of access. So minimum level of access is given through OWD. Extra permissions are given through other topics. First I have to give minimum permission using OWD. Whatever the extra permissions I want to give, they are given through others, like role hierarchy, sharing rules, like profiles, permission set. By using other concept, I will give extra permission. So minimum level of access is given through OWD. OWD will give you minimum permission that everybody has on the record. Okay. This will specify minimum level of access every user minimum level of access that every user has on the record. Right. There are 5 types of. So what are they? Private, public read, public read, write, transfer. Public access. Then there's one extra. Okay, I can also include that same. What is the 6th one? Control by parent. So these are the different types of OWDs. Now, on a record, what type of access we can have? On a record, we can perform, read, edit. It's the word write, edit, delete. Transfer means what? Transfer means I am the owner of the record. I am the owner of the record. I am changing the owner from Satish to Kumar. Transferring the ownership. I am the owner of the record. I am changing the owner from Satish to someone else. Transfer. Read the values in the record, edit the values in the record, delete the data in the record, and transfer the record. Okay. First, we'll start with the example. Let's assume we have a customer object is there. We have name. So I am giving customer ID. So there is a customer object. We have 3 records in it. Okay. So we had OWD. OWD we have private. What is the meaning of private? Listen carefully, boss. If you define OWD as private on an object, if you define OWD as private on an object, only owner can access only owner can access the record and no other user can see the record. Only owner can access the record and no other user can access the record. Owner can perform read, edit, delete. Now, example. Now, logged in. Who logged in? Now, we are assuming that Sham logged in. If a Sham logged in, which records you can see? See. You can only see C001. On this record, what you can perform? Read, write, delete, transfer. Can you see other records? No. Now, Kiran logged in. When Kiran logged in, what you can see? C003. Kiran, what you can perform? Read, write, delete, transfer. Now, if Sham log into the Salesforce, which record he was able to see? C001, because he is the owner of the record. When Kiran logged in, he was able to see C003 because Kiran is the owner of the record. If you are the owner of the record, you can see your record, you can perform, create, read, write, delete, transfer. No permission of create. We are speaking about record which is already there. When record is in the table, on that record what you can perform? So what operation? Read, write, delete, transfer. Which records? Records for which you are the owner. I hope you are good with this. So if I give OWD as private, only owner can access the record and he can perform read, write, delete and transfer. Next I am giving OWD publicly. If I say OWD public read, if you define OWD as public read, only public read, every user can see, every user can access every record in the object. If I say public read, every user can access every record in the object. Owner can perform read, edit, read on the record. Other users can only read the data. So if you are the owner of the record, you can perform read, write, delete, transfer. If you are not the owner of the record, you can only perform edit is nothing but write operation. Okay. So example. If Sham login, what you can see? But on his record, he can only perform. Sham can see everyone's data. But on others' data, he is able to perform only read. It's only able to perform read. Now, on this record, he can perform. Because you are not the owner of the record, you can only perform read operation. Public read means you can see everybody's data. Public read means you can see everyone's data. But on others' record, you can only perform read operation. I hope you are good with this. Clear, boss? Am I clear? Then we had OWD public. When I say public read write, what does it mean? Everyone can see everyone's record and they can perform. Everyone can see everyone's record, but they can perform what operation? They can perform read and write. They can only perform read and write. If you say public read and write, everyone can see every record. On others' record, they can only perform read and write. Here they can have read. Public read means they can only read. Read write means they can perform read and write operation. They can perform read and write operation. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. Right. Then next one. Public read write. Right. The problem here, look at this. This permission can be given only on lead object and case object. This public read write transfer operation can be given, the OWD of public read write transfer can be given only on lead and case object. This can be given only on the lead and case object. This permission can be given only on lead and case object. Now, come again. Public read. Now, this option can be given. This option can be given only on lead and case object. If you define OWD as read write transfer, every user access every record the object. Every user can access every record in the object. If owner of the record can perform read, write, read, operation on the record, other users can perform read, write, transfer. If you are the owner of the record, this is the way in which we can perform. If you are the owner of the record, this is the way in which we can perform. Are you getting my point? Now let me go with this. Now this should be only on lead or case. Example. Lead. Now this is the data what we have. This case. Okay. Kiran logged in. We have Kiran logged in. What he can perform? Read, write, other records. When Kiran logged in, this is how he is able to. If Ram logged in, then read, write, transfer. Read, write, transfer. Ram, read, write, delete, and transfer. I hope you are good with this, right? So this is on lead object and case object. This type of permission is available only on lead object and case object. Public. This public full access is available only on campaign object. This is available only on campaign object. This is available only on campaign object. What was this? If you define ODBD as public full access, every user can access every record and perform read, write, delete, transfer on every record. So if I say public full access, every user can see every record and everyone can perform read, write, delete, transfer on every record. Now this full access, everyone can see every record, everyone can perform every operation. Name, I can say date. So what is that? TV ad. Then banners. Now if it is the case, if this is the case, then we are supposed to go with this. Logged in user records. Logged in user. Now in this case, read, write, then if Ram logged in, every user can see every record and everyone can perform read, write, delete, transfer. Last option in the ODBD, control by parent. Now why we are getting this option was when two objects are connected by master detail relation, then child object will not have any owner. If two objects are connected by master detail relation, child object will not have any owner. Am I right? Whenever I create a master detail field, child object will not have any owner. Whoever is the owner of the master record, he is the owner of the corresponding child record. When two objects are connected by a master detail relation, then child object will not have any owner. But if you look at this OWD, entire OWD is running on 2 points. Are you the owner or are you not the owner? If you are the owner, these are the permissions. If you are not the owner, these are the permission. Entire OWD is running on ownership of the record. But when you go to the master detail relation, when two objects are connected by a master detail, child object will not have its own owner. Then how will you define the OWD? Then we are getting control by parent. Whatever the OWD we have given on the parent object, whatever the OWD we have given on the parent object, the same OWD will be applied on corresponding child object, which is called control by parent. Right? So what was this? Two objects are connected by child object will not have owner field. Then what? When we select control by parent, OWD applied on the master record, master object will be applied on child object. OWD applied on the master object will be applied on child object. Control by parent. When two objects are connected by a master detail relation, child object will not have its own OWD. As the child object doesn't have its own OWD, as the child object doesn't have its any OWD, as the child object doesn't have any OWD, whatever the OWD given on the master object, same OWD is applied on the corresponding child object. I hope you are good. Clear for everyone? This is called control by parent. This is called control by parent. So this will decide what? Minimum level of access. This will decide what? Minimum level of access. This will control minimum level of access. Now I told in this organization, let us say in this classroom, out of these 150 people, 149 people are able to see, 149 people are able to see every record, and they are able to perform read, write, delete, transfer on every record. But the 150th user is not able to see one record. There are 150 students in this classroom, 149 students are able to see every record and they are able to perform read, write, delete, transfer. But that 150th student, he is not able to see one record. One record he is not able to see, remaining records he is able to see. Then what is the OWD? Now when I say public read, everyone should see every record. But this 150th student not able to see one record. Public read, write, everyone should see every record. But this guy is not able to see a particular record. So what is the OWD? Private. If you say public read, write, transfer, that is only for lead and case. Public full access only for campaign. So what are the general permissions we are going to get? Private, public read and write. Are you clear? So if at least one person is not able to see one record, even then OWD is private. Now there are 150 students in this classroom. In 149 students are able to see every record, read, write, delete. But on one record, one user is able to perform only read operation. Then what type of OWD you give? Public read. If at least one person don't have an access on one record also, minimum permission should be reduced. Are you clear? So we will see the execution part and continuation in the next session. I hope the topic is clear. Clear for everyone? Right. Hard copies are given to you. OWDs? Just can you call that office boy boss? Just wait for a minute. I'll ask him to give you a hard copy. OWD materials. Unaya copies?